All right. If no one else shows up on the recording, then yes, I'll post it on YouTube. But if other faces show up, I can't, okay? Okay, so any takers on that? You get some, I believe you get some decimals, right? Maybe you don't, I don't know.
I didn't get any decimals.
Okay, at the end of it?
Yeah.
All right. So let's check it out here. Negative 16 0.25 plus 8 plus 480. Is that right so far?
Yeah.
Then you end up with negative, what's 16
4.
times, oh, is it perfectly 4?
Negative 4.
Yeah, plus 8 plus 480, right?
Yeah.
This becomes 484, right?
Yep.
So what is the height of Jason right here? What's the highest?
484 feet.
Very good, 484 feet, right? So if that's 484 feet, let's see, what is the other question that they have?
Mr. Trump,
Yeah.
how did you get negative 16 and put the, I mean, not negative 16, how'd you get the 0.25?
If you square 0.05 times 0.05, so 0.05 square is the same thing as 0.05 times 0.05. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
So let's see what the next question is. How do I? Dang it, I can't. That is so crazy. I can't move it up. How do I move it up now? How do I scroll up? Oh, 2 fingers. Jason hit the water after how many seconds? So it's asking you for that right there, right? The time that Jason hits the water. Now, do you remember what we call these right here, the x-intercepts?
The roots.
And you guys should know how to find the roots by now. Quadratic formula. Okay, so even though it's going to be very nasty, we got to find the roots, okay? So let's go ahead and find the roots. And I think I need more space than this if you're going to do the roots. So x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? Now we know that one of the roots is 0. So that we're going to know automatically. We just have to find the other one, okay? But one of them is 0, right? Now, there was a video that I sent you guys, and I told you before you factor or before you solve for any quadratics, this is the first thing that you should look for. Anybody saw that video?
No.
And you guys are gonna, I thought you guys were gonna make me YouTube famous, yo.
Wait, what video?
You send it on Remind?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. If you type in my name, and hopefully you subscribe. Subscribe. Press the like button. Leave a comment below and subscribe. Let me see. This one right here. Common factors in polynomials. Oh, does it show? Oh, it's not showing. How come it's not showing what I'm doing? How much of it did you miss? Did you miss everything?
Yeah, it just paused.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on
darn it.
pause right now.
Okay, so over here. Oh, shoot. Why does it do that every time you type in my name and boom shakalaka, look at that. I don't know who the other imposter is underneath me, but that's me. Subscribe. Oh, subscribe. Okay, so you subscribe to my channel and look at that. You have all these beautiful videos of me explaining things to you. This one right here, common factors.
It froze again.
I know. I guess it doesn't want to do it. I guess I can't airplay it. That's okay.
You try it without AirPlay?
Well, I can try on my, let me see. I can try on my,
Monitor.
yeah. You can see this one, right?
Yeah.
Where is that? Common? Yeah, there we go. This one. A 3,
It works.
a 5, nothing bigger than that. It's not going to be too complicated. So, for example, and it's a 4-minute video. This is something that you should always do before you start solving any quadratics. And if you don't like me talking, you can change the speed. Let's say that you have 6x squared minus 10x plus 4. Okay, and whether you're just typing or whether you actually... You can fast forward me, or you can slow me down. 0, doesn't matter at this point. Okay, so in this video, I tell you guys that, do you see that 6, the 10, and the 4? What do they all have in common?
They're all even.
Yeah, they have a 2 in common, all of them.
Excellent, very good.
I remember watching this now. Yeah.
Oh, who saw it? Wait, who saw? Who? Extra credit if you saw it.
Nathan, I've watched this.
All right.
Didn't we also go over it in class?
Yeah, we watched it in class, I think. I think one of your assistants showed us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's where we saw from.
So
Yeah.
the same thing applies here to this problem right here that we're doing. If you notice, right? If you notice in the problem, let me see.
It's divisible by 16. Watch.
Yeah, it's divisible by 16, matter of fact. 16 goes to all of them. So it makes the whole thing a lot easier, right? So let me see if I have any space down below where I can show that. Okay, some empty space here. So negative 16 squared plus 16t plus 480. And I'm going to go ahead and divide all of them by 16, right? And that gives me t squared plus t, what is it, times 20?
30.
30. So then I'm going to go ahead and do negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. See what you get. Oh, this is a negative, by the way.
Yeah, it's a -2, right? Yeah, okay.
Very good. All right, I'm gonna slowly start filling it in. So hopefully you fill that in just as I did. -1 plus or minus. And let's see what we get here. 1 plus, is it 120? What
Yeah.
gives you 121,
Yeah,
right?
121. Yeah,
And does anybody know the square root of 121?
11.
11.
Okay. So you have that, which means I'm gonna do -1 plus 11 over 2 and -1 minus 11 over -2, right? So that gives me 10 divided by let me see.
-5.
Yeah, it gives me -5.
And the other one is 6.
And the other one is a 6. Very good. So I was mistaken. I told you that one of them was going to be a 0, and it is not. And that makes sense because if you think, oh shoot, if you think about it, right here, the parabola keeps going. And if you could travel back in time, this would be -5. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is not a y-intercept. I'm sorry. This is not an x. Oh, shoot. This is not an x-intercept. That is an x-intercept right here. But we don't care about that negative because we're not going back in time. We're not going to space travel and go through the cliff, right? So we don't care about this one. We don't care about that one. We do care about this one on the right, though. How many seconds does he stay in the air, basically? What's the other answer that we found?
6 seconds.
6 seconds. Any questions with that? Okay, so again, it's all the same thing that you've been finding. You've been finding roots, you've been finding vertex, you've been finding the axis of symmetry, you've been finding the maximum. It's all the same questions, it's just that they're putting it to you in a word problem. The other thing that they don't ask you here that you should know is, and I know this is a lot of stuff, so let me find a different color. What's a good color that I haven't used? Let's go with this one. Okay. You see right here where Jason starts to jump? Do you see that? Right at the cliff. Because he doesn't jump from 0, he jumps from the cliff, right? Right at the cliff, what do we call that in a graph?
The y-axis.
Not the y-axis, close. Very good. It's
Starting
called
point.
Y-intercept.
Excellent. So again, it's the same thing that you've known. It's just that now we're putting it into a form of real life. So y-intercept. Does anybody know how to find the y-intercept in here? Super easy. Super easy to find the y-intercept on that standard form, not vertex form.
480.
Excellent, very good. In a standard form, this is your y-intercept always, right? Because when you add 0 to the t's disappear. So I know that right there is oh shoot. Is 480 feet. So when he jumped, how many feet did he jump? He went from 480 to how much?
He jumped 4 feet.
Yeah, it was because he jumped 484 feet at the highest. From 480, it's just a 4 feet jump.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice jump there.
I know, right? 4 feet,
4 feet?
4 feet
Jesus.
vertical? That's I can't jump 4 feet. I can jump 2 feet.
24
no,
inches.
I can't jump 20. I can't jump 2 feet. Not anymore. I used to could. All right. Any questions with that? So again, all the same thing, finding the vertex, finding the roots, finding the y-intercept. It's just that they're putting it as a word problem. Okay, so let's try this one right here. Very similar, guys. Very similar, okay? If a toy rocket is launched vertically upwards from ground level, okay? So this time, they're saying from ground level. So let me see here. So we don't really need, so this is the ground. All right, this is the ground. That's the X. X is the ground. And again, it's launched vertical upward, initial velocity. And so what is the Y in this case? The Y is the height again.
0.
Yeah, so it's starting from 0, right? And initial velocity is 125 feet per second. So again, it's just time and height. So it's the same thing again. They're asking you for time. Same as last time, time and height. Okay. So for a second. Okay. Okay.
That means that rocket's going about 60 miles an hour.
Oh, okay. You did the calculation. So the rocket goes like this, right? Something like that. And again, it's saying, how long would it take to return to the ground? So what is it asking for? Is it asking for y-intercept? Is it asking for vertex? Or is it asking for x-intercepts?
Vertex. And x-intercepts.
X-intercepts.
Very good. It's asking for the x-intercepts because it wants to know how long it takes to come back down. So that's all you got to recognize. You got to recognize what they're asking for. Right? How long would it take for the rocket to come down? 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. I'm not sure, right? So what do we have to do to find that? What are we going to use?
The quadratic formula.
Excellent, very good. So let's go ahead and do that, right? So this is asking you to find the roots. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Negative 16t squared plus 128. I need an empty spot. I'm gonna erase all of this.
Definitely get really nasty for the quadratic formula.
This one will?
Yeah, 128 to the second power.
Uh,
I'm
no,
saying
no, no, no,
big
no.
numbers, that's all. That's all.
Let's say here. That's negative, was it negative 16t squared
Yeah,
plus 128t
yeah, plus 0.
plus 0? Excellent. Good, because I was going to ask you about that, right? There is no c term, so it is 0. And remember what I told you to do every time before you start?
Divide by, or try and factor it. I mean,
Yeah, does 128 divide into 16?
yeah, 8
So that's negative t squared. Oh, shoot.
plus 8 plus 0.
So that's negative b plus or minus square root of, and this time, because it started from the ground all the way to the other ground, one of them will be 0 for sure. But we don't care about that. So that's A, that's B, and that's C. So 8, 8, negative 1, and 0. So what does that equal to? Negative 8 plus or minus. And what do we get here? This whole thing cancels because it's times 0. So 0 times 1 times 4 is 0. So you just have to worry about this. Oh, shoot. Square root of 64.
It's 0 and 8 for the roots.
Right. So square root of 64 is
8.
8. So all over negative 2. So let's see here. Negative 8 plus 8 over negative 2. Negative 8 minus 8 over negative 2. Which you're right. This gives me 0 over negative 2, which equals to 0. And we knew that. We knew that one of them was going to be a 0. And the other one is negative 16 over 2, which is 8. So if we go back to our problem, that right there is going to be 8 seconds.
Wait, but what do we do about the 16? We factor out
What
the
16 are you looking at?
The 16 that we used to factor out the 128 and the other 16.
Because the problem has to equal to 0, right? Because that's what y is right here. Y is
Yeah.
0, right? It doesn't really matter. Let's see here. So you make it equal to 0, negative 16t squared plus 128t. And if you were to divide all of them by 16,
It's still 0.
it's still 0.
So it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter. So I want you to make sure that you understand. You only do the common factor when
If
you're
we can-
trying to find, when you're using quadratic. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Don't use it when you try to find the vertex. If you do it when you try to find the vertex, it's going to change things. Okay, let me show it to you, okay? And here's the reason why. Let me see. Go ahead and take care of this aspect of it. Smallest. Okay, so always look for it. Okay, here is the reason why. Okay, the reason why it works with the quadratic formula, but it doesn't work with the vertex, is because when you factor, it actually changes the graph. At least the vertex does. So check it out here. You got y equals to negative 16 t squared plus 128 t. Right? Okay, let's make this easier so that you can see it. Let's pretend that this is something not as difficult. Let's go with 2 and 4. Okay, so you see how, that's the graph right there, right? And then you say, let's say that you factor out of 2. Let's say you factor out of 2, so the 2 becomes a 1, and the 4 becomes a 2, right? So notice that both of these graphs, the vertex are different, but the x-intercepts are the same. And so that's why when you're using quadratic formula, yes, you can factor and you'll still get the same answer, but don't do it for the vertex because the vertex are going to be different. Okay, so only factor out common factors when you're using when you're using the quadratic formula.
Thank you.
Okay, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. All right, so we found the time. Okay, good. How many seconds will the rocket be at 112 feet above the ground?
You started making a video about this?
Yes, I'm still recording. So the feet is the height.
Can't we just
Right?
divide it, right?
Here's the thing. So it's saying, hey, I don't know where the height. I don't know where the height is. So let's pretend that 128 feet is right here, and I want to know how many seconds. When is that? Right?
It's
How
less
many
than
seconds
1.
does it take? I'm sorry?
I said it's less than 1 because it's going 128 feet per second.
Right. So in a matter of 8 seconds, well, it's going to be around here, right? If,
It should be really close to 1 second.
well, we'll see. So I don't know what this is, but let's say that this is 128, and I want to know how many seconds it takes to get to 112. Okay. So then the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to say, okay, if the height is 112, then what is the amount of time? What's t in 120, 112? That's what it's asking for, right?
Oh, so that's how you do it? Okay.
Because they're asking you for the height.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is 112 divided by a 16, right?
I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 7.
Right, so that equals to 7 equals to negative t squared minus, oh, plus, what is it?
8.
So what do you think I'm gonna do at this point to find out t? Now, pay attention. The rocket is gonna hit 112 twice. It's gonna hit it once on the way up and once on the way down. Okay.
You have to do the factoring, whatever it's called. Like where you put it in parentheses, like that, right?
If this was 0, okay, if this was the x-intercept, all I have to do is make this equal to 0.
Uh,
0 equals to negative t squared plus 8t minus 7. And you use the quadratic formula to find those 2 points. So negative 8 plus or minus square root of 8 squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let me do that on a separate sheet of paper because I'm tired of going back and forth on that. So what was it? Negative t squared. Negative t squared plus 8t minus 7. So negative 8 plus or minus square root of 64 minus 4, negative 1, negative 7 all over 2, negative 1. Right? So that gives me 64 minus 28. And what's 64 minus 28? $36. And what's the square root of 36?
Six.
So that's negative 8 plus 6, negative 8 minus 6, all over negative 2. So that gives me negative 2 over negative 2, and negative 14 over negative 2, which gives me negative 1 and, I'm sorry, positive 1 and positive 7.
yeah.
Oh, snap.
What happened?
Okay, there we go. I thought I lost it. Oh, I did lose it. Shoot, I did lose it. How do I get it back?
Go to delete or something.
Ah!
I think when you made the new note, like new notes thing or whatever, you deleted the other one to make it.
Yeah, man.
Go to the search.
No.
Folders? Oh, no.
What the heck?
Go to the 3 dots. Maybe if you look up delete, it will show up.
Dang it.
Yeah, try the 3 dots.
Yeah, my 8-year-old daughter is telling me what to do. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so everything else got erased, but hopefully you guys have it. So let's come back to here. So in this question, in this question that said, hey, when does it hit 112? At how many seconds?
1 second and 7 seconds.
Any questions with that? All right. Now the next question is, how long would it take? How long would it take, so time, for the rocket to hit its maximum height? So what is it asking for this time?
The axis of symmetry.
Yeah, very good. It's asking for axis of symmetry.
Which would be 4 seconds.
Uh,
Because the like when it hits the ground is 8 seconds, and the axis of symmetry is right in between.
Excellent, very good, Sean. You actually made it a lot easier than I would have. I would have done the whole axis of symmetry, but because you know that this is 0 and this is 8, and you already found that out in the first question, you just divided it in half and you just did 4. Very good. Now, all you have to do to find the height is take that 4 and do what? Question D, what is the maximum height? So what are you going to do with that 4?
Plug it in.
Very good. So height equals to -16 4 squared plus 128 times 4.
That's nasty.
So -16 times 16. And what is that? 2, 11, 5. Is that right?
Yeah. That's right.
What's 16 times 16? 255? 256?
Yeah. -256 plus 512.
Which I think equals to 256. Positive.
Yeah, it does.
Is it in feet? Yeah, it is in feet. Any questions? Are we good? All your problems are exactly the same. Okay? It's asking you for the same stuff, just giving you different numbers. That's all it is. Okay? Again, a rocket is, I'm not going to go over this one, but a rocket is launched at a top of 100 and again, the cliff, right? Velocity, substitute the values. That's all it is. Sometimes they'll say, hey, what was the height? So let's say that they give you a rocket like this, right? And they'll say, hey, what was the height what was the height at 3 seconds? So super simple if they're giving you the time and they're asking for the height. Anybody know what to do?
Wait, Mr. Chong, are we writing this under 12?
Say that one more time.
Are we writing this under 12?
No, this is your notes. I just don't have space on my thing to do it, so I just look for a blank spot. So if they're giving you the time and they want the height, guess what you have to do in order to find it? Super simple. Substitute. That's all you have to do. Okay. Substitute t. So you just negative 16 is 128. And you just put 3 seconds. And you'll be good to go. You can find the height. Any questions?